All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. In this one, I really wanted to go in a different path, a path where I could kind of speak to a lot of people, right? And a lot of people could relate to this video, which is essentially around an activity that we've all done in our life, reading. So one of the questions that I get the most is, what do you read? Right? Which books did you read? Are books really worth it today? Can you not just watch podcasts or watch videos, these short summaries of the book that you're trying to read? And my answer is no, right? If you're starting out, you need to develop the habit of reading, because reading, to be honest, has changed my life. I was a civil engineering student, very lost. I would, wake up whenever I felt like it, no discipline, no focus, just gliding through university, having fun. Yeah, not really having a purpose in life, to be honest, not really in tune with the purpose that I now have, which is obviously a blessing for me right now. So reading has really changed the way I view things. It really created these paradigm shifts. You know, sometimes you come across a video or a podcast or a movie or even a book, and it completely shatters your view of the world and changes something within your mind where you don't view things as you used to. And that is exactly what happened to me with books. And today what I wanted to do is really just go over 3 of them that have really been transformative for me in terms of the mindset shifts that occurred after reading them, but also just the understanding of the world and how life hits you sometimes and how to cope with it. So what I'll do is I'll just explain to you how I stumbled across these books and the backstory behind it. So the first one that I wanted to include is one that is called The Slight Edge by Mr. Jeff Olson. This book is it hinges around one philosophy, which is the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And if you can incorporate that philosophy within your life, it's going to absolutely change everything for you. To be honest with you, one of the most, I'd say, transformational philosophies that I've incorporated into my life is that we do not own the future. The only thing that we own is we own memories in the past and moments in the present. Nothing in the future is owned. Nothing in the future is guaranteed for us, right? So it really breeds a question, which is, okay, how do we behave so that the future kind of translates into something that we want to live? Or how do we create that reality that we want in the future? Well, it's by really incorporating this principle, this timeless principle, that everything that you do, the way you do it is how you do every other thing. So how you do your dishes is how you do business. How you work out is how you develop your mind. How you wash your teeth, how you make your bed in the morning, how you move in the morning, how you stretch in the morning, how you speak with people dictates every single aspect of your life. So if you let laziness, not being disciplined, all of these negative habits seep into one pillar of your life, it will corrupt the other pillars. So if you're lazy when you work out, you will be lazy when it comes to business. If you're lazy in the morning and you don't wake up in time, that will translate into your life. Incorporating that principle has completely changed the way I view things. I put myself through excruciating pressure on every single thing that I do, so I don't let any inefficiency seep into the other pillars of my life. So when I work out, I'm actually intentional when it comes to working out. When I am reading, I'm intentional when it comes to reading. And obviously, we're not perfect. Sometimes, you're lazy. Sometimes you're not feeling like it. But just in the grand scheme of things, 90% of the time or 95% of the time, where we should strive for 99% or 100% of the time to be in tune with any activity that we do and to do it with full intention. And this book has been really transformative because it shows you how one bad habit can be the seed of your failure, whereas one good habit can be the seed for the success you will see in your entire life. It could be the starting point of something great. And it only takes one habit, it only takes one little action that you take with full intention and full focus, with a kind of a goal in mind to set your life for a trajectory you couldn't have imagined in the past. Okay, so that's the first book. Now, the second book that I wanted to detail is this one by Mr. Robert Greene. It's called Mastery. And this is a book that really incorporated another philosophy in my mind, which is everything that you do is an expression of who you are. Okay? And it's funny because when you're in business, you see all of these businesses that kind of just look alike. There's no originality. They all have the same business model, the same customers, the same processes, the same systems. And that's one of the issues in the e-commerce space where agencies kind of are a commodity. They're all the same. You just change the logo, you change the name of the founder, and it's basically the same. And it really sparked a thought process in my mind when I read this book, because everything that we were doing, and we were doing it very, very well, wasn't a full expression of ourselves. And I truly believe that all the people that are detailed in this book, Da Vinci, Steve Jobs, and the likes of them, have been incorporating this timeless principle of infusing who they are in what they do. And so there's no discrepancy between what they're doing work and their personal life. It's exactly who they are. They're just expressing themselves and really forcing their will on the world. And that is truly a beautiful thing, because it sets you on a trajectory that no one can compete with you in, because you're just being yourself. It's a beautiful philosophy to incorporate, but it's a very hard thing to do, because you need to be very aware of who you are and what you want to try to portray to the world. And so one of the main goals that I have, especially with Project Growth and our AI Quantum Leap system, is we want to infuse who we are. We want to do things the way we think things should be done. And it is infused with our personalities, with our way of doing things, with basically expressing ourselves as we would on a blank canvas. Instead of going the route of just creating a mass market print business, we're artists, right? We're the Da Vincis of this 21st century. We're expressing ourselves. And that is truly a beautiful thing. One of the books that has really transformed the way I view business, Mastery, because it shows you that you only attain mastery once you are yourself. Once you go through so many hours of excruciating pain, excruciating practice, and you're able to transcend to the other level, which is you're so above the basics, you're so above the competition that you're on a league of your own. And that is one of the main philosophies that I took from this book. And I'm truly, truly grateful to have read it. I really suggest you read it as well. Mastery from Robert Greene. All right, the last book, ladies and gentlemen, is called Meditations from Marcus Aurelius. These are the memoirs of Marcus Aurelius, who was one of the most famous Roman emperors and kind of the figure of Stoicism. And I read this book, again, when I was very lost in my journey, and it really taught me how to cope with life events. Because this is a glimpse into the mind of one of the brightest military commanders, leaders, emperors of all time. So, and this wasn't intended to be published. This was just himself writing ideas that he had, or writing his thoughts on a piece of paper. It's a very unique book because you get a glimpse into a great mind, to be honest. And it helps you see from the perspective of a great man what it was to deal with the problems that he had in the past, which, to be honest with you, are much, much, much harder and harsher than what we're facing today as entrepreneurs, business owners, or ambitious people. So it gave me kind of a perspective to really humble myself and tell myself that all the problems that I'm facing right now, when you start a business, it's very hard. But everything we were facing, we were in the comfort of our homes. We were building a business. Yes, it was hard. You still need to be in tune with your perspective, that people have it harsher than you, and you need to be able to cope with events in a manner that keeps your sanity intact. And you need to be able to view problems for what they are, not what you are afraid they could be. And that is a huge philosophy that's in this book, about being able to weather storms and be in tune with who you are, and not allocating any leverage to the external world on your internal world. Anything that goes on in the internal needs to stay in the internal, and that is your biggest lever. If you let the external world dictate what goes on in the internal world, it's going to destroy you. It's going to put you on a path of self-destruction, and you're going to start basically getting in your own way, getting in your own mind. So getting these lessons, in my opinion, the greatest minds to ever live in the Roman Empire, is very humbling. And it's a very humbling experience, and it's a very cool experience to go through that, especially when you're young. I do recommend you go through them in no particular order. You've got, like I said, Meditations, you've got Mastery, and you've got The Slight Edge here. Just let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.